everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide. You can see him there in front of the box. We'll go and put him off to the side real quick and take a look at that box. And yes, this is a Deluxe Class Age of the Primes box. You can see the Transformers Age of the Primes gold band there. You got the name Autobody Powerglide and the Hasbro logo, and down here. Up there you have 28 steps thing. You have, of course, the artwork of both the plane and robot modes right there. On the top it says Autobody Powerglide. On this side it says, well, no, has the statue artwork for the primes. On this side you have, of course, close-up of Powerglide. On the bottom you have what's included in some manufacturing details, and on the back you have some product shots and copyrights and warnings and all that stuff for Powerglide plus authentic Transformers. And of course with this figure you also have the instructions, which are pretty much all right. There's nothing particularly weird or here going on here. So Powerglide, let's do just a bit. And yeah, Powerglide here is, well, he looks a lot like his, well, G1 self. I mean, you got right there, you got, well, his, well, plain nose cone head. You got the, of course, the faceplate mouth with the, almost like a gas mask kind of thing. Of course, big old blue eyes, kind of a little bigger, kind of almost proportionally kind of really large. It's a weird little dot right there on his head. You got the Autobot symbol. You got some little bits of detailing right here on the waist and everything. You got pretty much just red and gray otherwise. And yep, the big old kind of forearms. You got his plain shoulders, and yep, he cleans up pretty well. There's not really much of a backpack, and yeah, not too bad looking at all. He's actually a pretty darn good looking robot as a whole. Yeah, well, of course, one of the things on here on the chest as well, you also have this bit. You can open up the plate right here on the chest, and hey, look, well, on the LC3 screws, you see a bunch of actually detailing right here, and also on the inside of the door too. But yeah, your little heart, you can see that there's a little heart right there. Yep, little heart right there, because referencing the episode, The Girl Who Loved Powerglide, actually one of the first few episodes I watched as a kid of G1. So I remember very distinctly. So yeah, not too bad looking. So as for articulation stuff, his head is on a, well, it's on a joint of some sort. He can go left and right. It can kind of wiggle around a bit. I'm not sure, because the way it works is for transformation. I'm not sure what actually it is. I think it's actually just supposed to be swivel, but because it has to pop away from the main body, it winds up being have a bit of wiggle there, but I don't think it's a ball joint. I'm not sure. Regardless, shoulders, you do have a full rotation there, like that. Unfortunately, that's a common problem, which is they have a tendency to untab a little bit, although if you rotate the other way, they don't. It's kind of weird. Regardless, the force kind of has a tendency to make them just untab. I mean, it's really easy to tab them back in, but it seems to be a very common problem. Outward, you do have that much outward. You have a bicep swivel right there. Elbows can actually go pretty far, about 90 degrees. Both ways actually, and then kind of at the full 90 degrees point you'll kind of hear a click, although on the backwards it will go even further for reasons. At the wrists there is no rotation, but there is a hinge, so you can hinge it down if you ever give them like a sword or something. So there's that. They have a waist joint which is unimpeded, thankfully. Hips can go forward that far, nice range there, and of course it does the whole thing with the waist piece comes with the leg. You also got back that far, and outward you have that far, only we're limited because of the sculpting to the wings. You do have a thigh swivel right there. Knees can go just about 90 degrees. And down here at the feet, it's very interesting what they did here, because you have do have ankle tilts of sorts, but it uses a sliding joint because of how it transforms. So you have ankle tilt, so you have straight forward right here, and then you have ankle tilt about that far, and you can slide it out, but you know, that only makes them taller. It doesn't actually give them any further ankle tilt. That's all you get. So there you go. Decent amount of articulation as well, which is nice. As for accessories, it comes with two. Namely, one, he comes with a gun, which is done in a nice silver. Some little bits of detail molded in. Of course, you can peg that into his hand, no problem, like that. If you like. He also comes with an alien mask from the episode Hoist Goes Hollywood. Yep, complete with little weird cross eyes and everything. With this, what you do to attach it is, well, there's a little gray clip thing on the back. You can see that. What you do with this is you pull up this little gun piece right there, and that lets you rotate the face, rotate 180 degrees. And with that, you have this, and you push this back down, and then this clips over that. So, of course, it also makes it so it's not compatible with any other figures, but yeah, you have this ridiculous nonsense going on if you want. You have this ridiculous nonsense, yep, as a space alien. Of course, if you want to store the gun away, you can also just, you know, peg it on the back right there as well, or in the several other peg holes, including up on the shoulders. So it's that, and yeah. Other thing, if you want to store the alien mask, you kind of have, the only way you can do so is to, well, clip it over the gun. So right here, this little rail on the top of the gun, you just kind of clip it on there. And I mean, it doesn't look great, to be honest, but, well, I guess it is storage, but it doesn't look good. It is technically storage. It's kind of the goofiest storage ever, so I don't like to do that. I'm just gonna put that off to the side. So yeah, as a whole, yeah, the robot mode is actually pretty darn good looking. You know, not a lot of accessories, but also is pretty good looking. There's not really any massive hollow gap spots that, you know, other than the spots that are necessary for, you know, movement or whatever. And yeah, he's generally pretty good. Except for, yeah, the shoulder is just the only thing of kind of annoying, but even then they're only kind of annoying, and that one in particular is worse than the other one. This one's, on mine, this one's not too bad. You can see it flex a bit, but it doesn't really undo itself. This one, yeah, just almost immediately untabs itself. You're going to have to, like, push into the... Best way I can find to alleviate is just basically push into the joint while you're rotating it, so, yeah, that doesn't move as much. So, there's that. As for, of course, measurement stuff, in this mode, his height is 4.5 inches or 10.4 centimeters, and his weight is 1.9 ounces or 54 grams. So there is all that stuff. So comparisons real quick. Just getting him standing nicely. Of course, the standard SS86 Optimus, who is significantly taller, which makes sense. That seems to be a good... pretty much a correct height, more or less, for better for worse. Here is his previous, the Combiner Wars iteration of Powerglide. Again, he was a Legends class figure, so yep, a bit of a height boost comparatively. And also, this one doesn't have the problem with the knees just kind of fall, you know, kind of just collapse, and the engines won't pop off when you try to slide them for transformation and so on and so forth. Also better kibble management because he doesn't have the butt flap. And of course, here's the entire lineup of all the other 85 minibots. Well, yeah, all the 85 minibots that were previously released in 84, I should say. There we go. Yep. Sea Spray, Beachcomber, Cosmos, and Warpath. I think it's pretty good. Powerglide might be a bit on the short side, but I don't know. That's the thing, yeah. He might be a bit on the short side. It's one of those things. Hey, guess what? The G1 cartoon is a little inconsistent, but yeah, you know. That's it for the robot mode. I think again, largely really good. The only problem is, real problem is the shoulder. At least on mine, one of the shoulders is very iffy, and for a lot of people, it seems to be a common problem. And the mass storage is, but yeah. So transformation. Just down this a little bit. Transformation is it's actually pretty neat. What you do, of course, get the gun out of his hand right there first, and then do the same thing you do with the mask. So you know, use this thing, pop that up so it unlocks the face, rotate the face around 180 degrees, like so. Close that back up. Then right here, take the fists and rotate them into the forearm, like that, and you'll feel it click into place, and like that. Yeah, bring this like this. And like this, you bend the forearm at the elbow backwards like that, so it clicks into place. Then rotate the bicep 180 degrees, and then right here, this right here will go over this tab right here like that. So it sits like that, and same thing, bring it around and rotate it so it sits like that. And there you go with that. So down here at the feet, what you want to do, you want to straighten out and extend the feet like so. And then you bring the engines up. If you want to bring these engine pieces up right here, there's like two hinges, a hinge here and a hinge here. You want to bring it up so it's sitting like that. You can see the difference. Same thing, bring it up and so it's sitting like that. Then you go ahead and rotate this. Rotate this out like this. And like that. I see you rotate the feet out like that. Then you rotate the feet pieces like this and like this. And you collapse the toes in like that. And from there, you're going to go ahead and peg and tab the two legs together, like so, like that. And you take this piece right here, and you use the double hinge here and bring it back. And also, might have to bring the legs forward a little bit so this has clearance to go in here. And yeah, these tabs right here, there's little. You can see these little slots right here behind the engines, and these tabs will go into those, like that. And right here with the head, what you also want to do is tab that in right there like that. Just push it in essentially like that to lock it in place. And then from there, this is the weird part, which you might have difficulty with. What you want to do is you want to untab the arms and bring them out like this, like along with the wing piece, and then rotate it so this tab will go into this little spot right here. Doesn't like tab in, but it's supposed to kind of rest into place. And do the same thing, bring it down, and then rotate it into place like that. And with that, make some fine adjustments to the wings as necessary. And with that, you have Powerglide. Is alt mode. And yeah, Powerglide here is, well, his plane mode is much more reminiscent of the G1 cartoon, which means it's kind of, it's an A10 Warthog, but really kind of weird looking. So yeah, the nose is a bit different than the, yeah, but yeah, it's clearly, yeah, that's the thing, was the original Powerglide was supposed to be an A10 Warthog, and the cartoon, well, they took the liberties because of various reasons, but yeah, it's not a bad looking plane per se. I mean, it's got some good stuff going on here. You got the Autobot symbols right here on the wings. You got, weirdly enough, you got a, well, fake rub sign painted on. That is not a real rub sign, that's a fake rub sign molded and painted onto him, so okay. Got a little silver cockpit and everything. It's hard to see, but the I guess turbines have little bits of silver on them as well. You got the gray arms being kind of bombs or whatever, or and I don't know what you want to call them, but yeah. The big thing here is, yeah, the wings, they don't like to tab in super well. This is better than they were. The big thing here is you got to kind of, this is going to probably take a while, several tries, but you got to warm up this right here, this nylon, or I think it's nylon or palm or whatever it is, this plastic right here, this particular like block. Got to warm that up with like a hair dryer, and then put the wings in the vehicle mode. And yeah, what'll happen is they'll kind of generally stick better. As it stands, they have a tendency to kind of pop themselves out. This is better than it was, and this will help you a bit with the whole, you know. Because it stands, it's kind of a weird oversight in my opinion. These should have just straight up, these should have been proper slots and not just guidance, like a guidance thing. So like because as it stands, it's easy for the wings to get out of alignment. It's better than they were out of the box, but for me, because I did that already. But yeah, it's definitely gotten a little bit worse again. So there is that. But generally, it's not too bad looking. It's not too bad of looking plane. Other thing for me personally is also this bit right here of the chest is just kind of right there. I wish that could have collapsed or something, but that would have ruined this gimmick. So I don't know. That would have ruined the gimmick right here. And also he doesn't have any landing gear, so he just kind of sits right there like that. As for, you know, weapon storage stuff and whatnot, or accessory storage, well, yeah, you just tab the alien mask onto the gun and peg that right here. And that will look really goofy, but hey, you can do it. It'll look goofy, but you can do it. That just came undone. There we go. You see the wings just pop out of alignment really easily, and that's just the biggest annoyance, is trying to get this back into alignment. Yeah. So I'm going to hit this with the hair dryer again and try to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, it's not a bad plane mode, and the transformation you get here is actually kind of clever. I like what they did with the tail fins and turning them into the feet. That's actually really, in my opinion, that's actually really clever as well. I wish these gaps weren't here, but I understand why they're there, because, you know, it kind of needs to be there for this to transform. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there would have been, like, if there's more budget, there probably would have been something to cover that up or something. But as it stands, there isn't. Yeah, I also kind of wish there's some sort of landing gear of some sort, but yeah, a lot of the plane formers anymore don't have landing gear, so yeah. But it's generally not too bad. So yeah, as for measurement stuff, in this mode, his length is 4.5 inches again, or 10.4 centimeters. Yeah, same length as he was in height-wise in robot mode, and his wingspan is 5.25 inches or 13.3 centimeters. So yeah, it's a bit on the wider side, I guess. So there is all that. So comparison stuff. I'm gonna get this off of him for the comparisons. As for comparisons again, The Studio Series 86 Optimus, right there. Definitely not in scale vehicle-wise. Here's a Combiner Wars Powerglide, which also has a difficulty. He has power is at least one piece of landing gear, but he also has difficulty staying together in molten mode. Again, it's that common problem of the legs don't stay tabbed together really well. You can see that big old gap right there. So there is that, and also he has a tendency to kind of bow a bit. So there's that. And of course, here's the rest of the 85 minibots. 85 minibots in their alt modes. So, there you go. So that is Powerglide. He's not bad. He's, for me personally, he's finally finished off my minibots, I guess. He's finished off my minibots. I'm not going to get the repaints. So I'm not getting Swerve or any of them, or a upcoming Tailgate. Yeah. Not getting them. But, yeah, it was the last of the, I guess, unique mold minibots. He's not bad. He's got some disappointments. Again, the wing likes to come off, kind of untab in the robot mode. The wings don't tab together tab into the main body particularly well in the alt mode. I guess no landing gear is a little bit of a nuisance. And I personally kind of wish the alien mask had somewhere to store that just wasn't on top of the gun. Beyond that, he's actually got some clever bits for the transformation. I think the alt mode is generally overall pretty good. The robot mode's great. And he's a pretty solid figure overall. He just got us a couple little minor nitpicks. And again, the thing with the wings tabbing into the alt mode at least seems to be fixed with a hair dryer, or I guess hot water. So, yeah. He's a little bit disappointing, but not completely. He disappointed me a little bit, but I guess maybe I kind of set some high expectations for him after the really amazing wheelie, So, there you go. Can't believe I'm saying that wheelie's better than Powerglide, huh? So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out all social media. It's down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.